I just walked off of Rise of the Resistance for the very first time here at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge on opening day to the public. And man, oh man, let me tell you, it lives up to the expectations. And I had high expectations of what this would be like. Now, I tried to avoid every bit of media that I could, but there was a lot of things out there, and some things that Disney kind of ruined for me by showing them to me in the commercials and the trailers. But that being said, knowing like a half a dozen things, there was still so much in there that I didn't expect, and the way that it's constructed is unbelievable. Brandon, I'm glad that you loved that we loved it, because we absolutely did. Everyone is coming off with rave reviews, and there were a couple of things that were broken. I'm so glad that you're going in February. You just got to make sure you show up early. But man, everyone in our group had a great time. Everybody is walking out just giving it rave reviews. Like, they really went out and broke the mold on this attraction. The fun part about it is, the surprising part is the cast member interaction. The ride really is a play. Yeah, there's not going to be anything left. In fact, you bring up a good point. You're going to come to the park tonight, there won't be any left. And I'll tell you, there are a lot of people that got here at midnight and were not able to secure a spot. The boarding passes on opening day went in 3 minutes. Natasha, that's so great that you're going on Monday. My advice is get here early. Not too early, because the way that it works is everyone gets sled in the gate at 8 a.m. or before 8 a.m. What's that?
I love your podcast, by the way.
Did you ride Rise yet?
No, I'm still waiting.
When's your boarding time?
76.
76.
What are you?
44. I have Rose
have
Against
the
the Resistance.
Yeah, you have the Force.
Buddy, let me tell you, you are in for a treat. What's your name?
Christian.
Christian, I'm Mark.
Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you, bud.
Yeah.
Have fun today.
Yeah, thanks for the podcast.
Citizen of Disneyland. But it is unbelievable. And the way that you really want to manage this is that you're going to get inside, and it's pretty democratic, but also not really fair, in that everybody comes in and the tickets are gone in like 3 minutes, right? Like 3 minutes, everything was gone. So we got here, I woke up at 1:30 a.m., showed up at the park at 2, waited out front. They let us all in early, then they moved us further in the land, but ultimately that was all for nothing, because you could have showed up at 7:55 and got in, because it was 8 o'clock on the dot. Everyone that was inside the gate was given a chance to get their boarding pass. If you watch YouTube channels, Adam Wu, Justin Scard, Fresh Baked Dave, those guys were 10 people in front of me in line. I was a little bit back from them. They all got in before us. We had a guy, Herschel, was our cast member at the ticket taker, and he was very slow, and they must have been in the park a good 5-10 minutes before us. By luck of the draw, my boarding group was 44. I think Justin and Adams is like 71. So it's completely randomized. But man, oh man, I can't urge enough just like how unbelievable it is. And really the best thing about it is the human interaction, the relationship that the ride has with humans and how they play a part in it. That to me was so much more fascinating than the technology. And the technology is great, but it was that hidden factor of how that was going to work with the people and how you go from spot to spot to spot. So it was just absolutely phenomenal the way that all that flowed. Trying to review it without giving away any spoilers, because I don't want to ruin it for people. How did you get the same group with Nick, Chris, and Glass and everyone? So the way that it works is this. If you show up, you have one person in your group that's in charge. And in fact, we did this twice. So we had 2 iPhones that loaded in everybody's boarding passes, and essentially you make like a group. Then at 8 o'clock, when that button goes live, you try to hit that button, and what you're trying to do is secure a group or a boarding pass for your group. So on 2 different iPhones, we had all 5 of us loaded in. Glass couldn't get one, but Arthur ended up nailing the 44 group. So if you go with multiple people, probably smart to have multiple people playing. And then once one of you gets the boarding pass, nobody else can do it because it realizes that your ticket that's scanned in at the gate, so you have to be here, has already received access to the land. And so therefore, you're in the system. So it helps to have multiple phones because really it is just a lottery. And if lots and lots of people are coming, you are playing this lottery game against thousands of people. And we were one of the lucky ones. But I saw people today that got here at midnight and they did not get a boarding pass. And in fact, the big rumor is anybody that has a boarding pass over 80 is probably not going to get offered a ride. Just because you get a boarding pass doesn't guarantee you a ride on it. So that's how we were all able to get in and to do it together. But yeah, so getting back to my reaction of the attraction, it was just something that I'd been wanting to do for so long. And I had this dream of what it would be. And once it was built and there was real photos of it, like I looked at all the comp art, but I didn't look at, any POV views from Walt Disney World. I didn't look at anything that was actually from inside the attraction. But you do see some things in ads. There was some spoilers in Disney Imagineering story. And there's still plenty of surprises. And there were a couple of scenes where I think some animatronics weren't exactly going off because today the attraction did go down for what I estimate to be about an hour, but it popped back up and people got boarding. So I think what I'll do now is to kind of explain the boarding pass. I've given a rough idea of what I liked about it that's non-spoiler. So I think here in a minute, I'll go into a spoiler review of the attraction, but I want to let you know that I did film a long-form vlog of the whole experience, getting in how it all worked, and I also filmed my reaction inside the attraction. So that will be coming out hopefully on Saturday or Sunday, just depending, because I haven't slept since Wednesday. That all being said, I'm now going to go into the spoiler review. So here you go. If you watch beyond this, you are going to get spoiled, and you've been warned. Pause. A safety pause. A safety pause. Spoiler review. Act 1. So when you go into the tunnels, it feels very much like it's designed after Hoth, even though it's sandy and kind of rocky, which is what Batuu's like. Batuu's like a soiled, dirt-paced land. But a lot of the infrastructure has a very Hoth-like area. You go through some hallways that are really narrow with like pipes and tubes that go down it, and that feels like you're in Empire Strikes Back. Really like you're in Empire Strikes Back. They have a lot of the different cages that have weapons and costumes and all that stuff on display, like they have all around the land. So that's nothing that's shockingly new. But then as you work your way around, you go back outside. So you go through a series of corridors and mazes. They've got this thing designed for large audiences and long wait times because there's actually benches designed into the queue. When's the last time you saw a bench put inside of a line? Like Indiana Jones is long as hell and it has no place to sit. When you are in there, the next thing you do is you go outside. And when you're outside, you get the big reveal of that transport ship that's going to take you from Batuu to outer space. That part was so unbelievably real feeling because it's a one-to-one, like everything in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It's a life-size transport ship. You see Poe's black X-Wing, and I love the matte black X-Wing sitting over there. There's a Poe in there. But that little area, with it being natural light and vegetation all around you and getting into a physical ship, just that entryway is so unbelievable. Hey, the whole rest of the video is spoiler, so just bounce off. I take no offense. I gave a warning in the beginning that we're now going into spoils for the rest of the thing. The first half of the video is spoiler free. This part is the big stuff. So Sonny, I love you, but this video is not for you. Maybe later, but not today. So then when you go in there, that transport ship, it's like a public bus. And there's video screens in the front and the back. I advise getting in the furthest back corner that you can, or the furthest front corner, because you want to spend as much time in that transport ship as humanly possible. Because there's animatronics, there's video screens, and the way that it moves around, like you really feel like you're rocking. There's poles to hold on to. Like it's like being on the subway. It's a very, very extreme ride. And what they're doing is you go into this facade, you go into a vehicle that is essentially driving you into the main show building. So you feel it moving and bending and interact. So just imagine basically a Star Tours that you're standing on with multiple screens, multiple animatronics, multiple lighting effects. Like it's all happening everywhere around you. And as you're moving back and forth, you feel all of those bips and bops in the road. Then of course, you know, you're gonna get sucked into the Star Destroyer. And that has the feeling that you always thought it would feel, sort of that helplessness. You feel yourself kind of cruising and kind of sailing into it. And that feeling is something that I always wanted to know what it felt like, and it felt so real. As you board, your side door opens up, and if you're in the back corner, you get a lot of time to see that transport. But most importantly, when you go out into the big room with all the stormtroopers in it, you have all the time in the world to look around that room, to check out that humongous screen, to see what 50, stormtroopers lined up looks like. And the thing about that room is it's so sterile and quiet, and the lighting in it really does feel real. So that's the second time that you feel like a complete visual immersion, that you're in this thing that we fantasized about forever and forever. The next little bit, you're basically guided by cast members, by inferior cast members. They are mean, they are ruthless, they do their job so amazingly well, and they're for sure like the MVPs of the entire thing, because the way that they guide you through there is they're giving you information, they're taking to where you need to be, but they're doing it so on brand. Like they're so mean, and it's everything that you would imagine would be if you did get picked up and put into a Star Destroyer. As you walk around and you navigate through those folks, and they're telling you where to go, and they have very interesting ways that they do it, because of that human interaction and them staring you down, it's a moment where it starts to feel just incredibly real to you, because you're living through it. The very next part is fascinating, because they throw you into a jail cell, which is this bizarre triangle room, and they put a video board up above you. And the video board that's up above you, it has these grates over it. So the video screen that's up there, the characters feel so incredibly real. Like they look like they're really there, and they're really talking to you. And as you're in this room, all of a sudden the door blasts open, or not the door, the corridor of this jail cell, and you get kidnapped or rescued or freed by the resistance. And that is when the ride actually starts. You get loaded in this black vehicle that many of us saw at D23 over now 2.5 years ago. And that's when you on your trackless ride, like Ratatouille in Paris. I believe there's also a trackless Winnie the Pooh ride in one of the Asian parks. That's when the adventure fully starts to begin. And the way that the cart moves and slides around, and the way that the room has distress and battle built into it, makes it all feel so insanely real. Dog. always love when I see a dog at Disneyland. Like, Rise of the Resistance is great, always have to see a dog. When you're in that space and you're sliding around, yeah, there's like video boards that show you, the scenes that you're going through, but the destruction and the lasers and the beams and the way that they sprinkle out stormtroopers, and you're moving in such erratic ways, and because there's no track, carts are taking different routes. You're seeing showrooms from different perspectives, like when you go into the race sequence in Radiator Springs, some of you go over to the paint shop, some of you go over to the tire shop. It's that kind of mechanism where you're bipping into these different little rooms and getting these different experiences, but it's moving so fast, it's paused when it needs to be, and the experience of that, it's hitting you in all the Star Wars feels, all the emotions, all the characters, and just the lighting, the design of the rooms, the way that the beams are put in there. Like, it is a movie set. Like, you're for sure inside of this thing that we've always wanted to be. And then the big sort of grand finale is you get loaded into your escape pod, which drops you with a video board. I mean, you're physically dropping, but you have a video board that it drops you down, which is sort of a hard drop out of the spacecraft. And then there's a little bit of maneuvering in this room that's got you inside of it that makes you feel like you're sliding back down in to the town of Batuu. When you get out and you see daylight, because it's the cart you were in, it really does feel like you went someplace. It feels like you went on a journey. Like, this is for sure like a movie that you get to live in. It's unlike any other ride at the Disneyland Resort. It's unlike any other thing you've ever done. And I have to think that this is what people felt like. If you've ever wondered, what did people think about the first time they went to the Enchanted Tiki Room and saw those birds sing and the totem poles talk and the flowers move? Like, what did people think the first time that they saw pirates and saw a pirate village come together? This is that moment for our generation of Disney fans. It's that far away from everything that's already existed. It's that far away from what our expectations are or what our reality is, that this ride alone resets the game. And it's gonna sell out of boarding passes. Hey, it's spoiler to the end, redneck. I don't want to ruin it. It's spoiler to the end. Listen at your own. Everything I had to say without ruining it was in the first 7. But this ride is exactly what you want for the future of this park. It's exactly where things need to be. It's an unbelievable technical accomplishment. It's an unbelievable emotional accomplishment to make people feel that way. The storytelling, the sets, the building. One of the things that they do that's so subtle is that when you're on the Star Destroyer, you're in outer space, right? Outer space is floaty. You actually feel that giant room just gently bip and bop. It has a couple little like nods in it, which is just unreal that it feels that floaty, that space-like. When you get out, you're on a complete rush, and this is something that you could do over and over and over again, because there's so much coming at you that the little bit of what I saw is just where my eyes landed in that moment. And the next time I do it, I'll probably see something else. It is worth the wait. I'm glad they tried to get it to complete perfection. There was 2 animatronics that I noticed that weren't working properly, but these things happen. At least I got to ride it. It didn't break down. It didn't choke up or pause in the middle. And I can't wait to do it again. But I think right now the only way you get to ride this is to show up really, really early and to win that digital lottery and get one of those tickets. I have a video coming out, like I said earlier, in a couple of days that shows me actually riding it. You can see my face, you can see the expressions, you can see just like what this magic feels like. If you're from out of town, it's time to book the flight. It's time to book the flight. So, I've been here since, I left my house at 1:30. Got here at 2 a.m., stood in the rain, waited for hours to ride the ride. And I have to tell you, it's awesome. I think the lines are gonna be insane for the rest of the year. What do the crowds look like right now? I'll show you what the crowds look like right now. I wanted to finish our live stream coming back over and just showing everybody, there's zero reason to hang out here right now. This isn't gonna get you on any faster. There's no line. People are literally just hanging out in this area because they're excited. They're excited that it's here. And today is the most crowded I've seen the Galaxy's Edge since I did the opening preview that you had to get a slot for. And I dare to say that this is even more packed than what that was. So you get an idea of the crowds. A lot of people today celebrating by wearing costumes. You can see a lot of people today from upper management. Just, it's opening day. Everybody wants to make sure that it goes smoothly. Oh, and look who we have here. Look who we have here. A spy. I don't know how many people are in a boarding group. I'll tell you that it feels like one boarding group number is probably the equivalent to 20 to 30 minutes. Sometimes they only add one on, sometimes they add 5 on. I just think that it has a lot to do with just what the overall volume is like. That seems to be the way that they do this. Let me walk in through here. I don't know what the big gap's all about. But yeah, I think for the next year, if this is something that you really want to do, you got to just get here early to make it happen. So I'm a bit unfamiliar with the Galaxy's Edge process. Oh, I just lost that comment. Oh, here it is. With the process of getting into Galaxy's Edge, is it just through your app? No, you don't need an app to get into the Galaxy's Edge. You're allowed to come into Galaxy's Edge whenever you want. If you want to ride Rise of the Resistance, which is the most high demand attraction at the entire resort, that's app-based. Or there are kiosks where you can get a paper ticket to get you in. But I would strongly suggest doing it app-based. Today was opening day. Tickets were done in 3 minutes. Well.
What up, Brickey?
You've rode, right?
No, we're almost 60.
60.
We're almost
there. So close. You're in the spoiler part of my live stream.
You can spoil it. I've watched it.
Nah,
but
really? You
don't
watched?
Stay over there. Spoilers. I couldn't help myself.
Wow. I have to tell you, it's unbelievable.
Like
it.
So excited.
I didn't spoil it.
Yeah.
But it went above and beyond my expectations.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And you know what's
Can't
been rad today is today's been a real community day at Disneyland.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
so many vloggers, so many friends, and like everybody here is hardcore and the truest of fans.
Everyone's rallying around like, what group are you in?
Yeah.
Good luck. It's been really nice.
It has been one of the best days ever at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And the fact that like this could be chaos, people could be in lines, they could be cranky, they could be mad. Like hats off to Disneyland for nailing this.
It's been pretty smooth. I was just telling this nice woman over here, like, if we hadn't gotten a boarding group, I probably wouldn't be saying that.
I wouldn't either. I was just thinking
I'd
that
be
same
having
thing.
like a heart attack, but we got lucky. It's really just so lucky.
Yeah, and I was trying to explain to people, like, you got to get here early. It's a digital lottery. And, they were gone in 3 minutes.
It's insane. Yeah.
Like, people got here at midnight and didn't get to ride
Yeah,
it.
that really stinks.
I mean, I guess if you follow Disney's rules, it's pretty fair.
Yes.
We were all trying to get a competitive edge, which
You just have to do your research.
Yeah.
For any kind of like big opening. Like,
Yeah.
We need to have we bumped into a couple people that didn't even have like their tickets linked. Just like basic things like
Yeah.
that will like get you a little bit further.
Right. Do your homework, do your notes,
Yeah.
understand how it works, because they don't really communicate at all with
No,
you.
you gotta like read the Reddits, you
Yeah.
gotta watch YouTube videos, you gotta like really dig a little bit deep.
Yeah, the fans always know.
Yeah.
The fans will always get you where you want to go. So you guys are up next.
Almost.
Are you gonna leave afterwards?
Yes, because my friend is coming in from New York and we're gonna
Oh.
do this again tomorrow.
Are you gonna try to ride rides tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I curse?
I mean, you did.
Sorry.
It's live. Hey,
No
she's a
cursing
cursor.
in Disneyland.
She's a cursor.
We're gonna just do exactly what we did today.
So what's your plan? What time are you gonna get here tomorrow morning?
Same time. Like
Which
we
was-
left our house at 5.
5?
We pulled into the parking structure at like 5:50.
Okay.
So we had to get gas.
Yeah.
Walked into the park at like 6:10.
Okay. And then at 8 o'clock trigger.
8 o'clock, I stood in the corner of Disneyana. Like,
Yeah.
no one was around me, and
Yeah.
I told Vic, like, please block me. I don't want anyone
Yeah.
distracting me. Like,
Yeah.
leave me alone. And he, like, counted down, like, the seconds on his phone. And I was
Right.
like, just, when it's 5 seconds, let me know.
So
and I
what-
was refreshed.
What our group did, and I said this earlier in the video, is we had all 5 of us on 2 different phones.
Oh.
And once one phone gets it, the other phone says you already have it.
Okay.
So it doesn't
I was
ruin
afraid
it.
that it was
Yes.
gonna-
That was the gamble. But if you had 4 people and all 4 people were trying,
Yeah.
that gives you better odds.
Okay, so we'll do this tomorrow.
And it'll mean, so if all 3 of you are loaded in, you got 3 chances to win now.
Okay.
And as soon as one of you gets it, the other 2 will be
It'll
like,
just block it
you
out?
already have it.
Okay.
So it doesn't like ruin it for you.
Also, question for you.
Yes.
Did you do the, like, my status and then it was grayed out and you refreshed until 8 o'clock? Or did you totally just,
We
like,
were
newly opened app? Like, how
no,
did you
we
get it?
we were in there looking at it, did the screen pull down to refresh, and then we're like just hitting it to get it like that.
Okay, so you were doing the refresh.
Yeah. So
Okay, so I did that because I had heard that people had success doing that, and I had heard people had not success doing it.
and you're hearing about this from Walt Disney World.
Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
So I did the refresh because I figured if it doesn't work, I'll just hit that left arrow like it's a millisecond.
Right.
But it counts. It counts. It really counts.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped for you guys, and you're so
He
close,
hasn't
dude.
seen anything. Did you go in spoiler free?
Yeah. Well.
Nothing besides like the concept art, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I saw concept art, and then I stopped looking, and then Disney spoiled a lot.
Yeah.
In commercials and
Yeah,
advertising.
you can't get around it. That's
Yeah.
why I just was like, whatever.
Like,
I'll just watch it.
The lightsaber through the ceiling
God.
would be so shocking if you didn't know it was going to happen.
He has no idea. Correction. My husband, for everyone watching, he's.
Oh, we're
only
gonna talk to
seen-
him next.
He's seen the concept art and like the. Can I
Yeah,
spoil?
yeah,
Okay,
this is the
like
spoiler part. Yeah, you can say whatever you
And
want.
He's seen like the hanger.
Okay.
It's like that's in like everyone's Instagram and
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But other than he doesn't know what the ride it is. He doesn't know. There's like that whole nothing.
I want to
He
be
knows
Vic so
nothing.
bad right now.
I know. You want to go talk to Vic
Because
now?
I will admit it, I knew there was different ride sequences. You know,
Yeah.
the hangar room, that was the emotional room for me. That was the one where I thought I was getting ready to
Photo op
cry.
room, right?
Yeah, and it's that very first moment that it feels super real.
Yeah.
Because when you get on the transport, you know you're on a ride.
Yeah.
When you walk in that room, you're not riding anything. They're in full character.
Right.
Like it feels so real at that moment. Oh God,
I'm
you're
really
gonna do it
excited.
tomorrow.
I mean, come tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what? I now that I'm thinking about it, one day this week on my own.
Yeah.
I live 30
You
minutes
live
from
so
here.
close, yeah.
Get up, come down here and do it. You're a toy designer.
I am not a toy designer. My husband is sort of a toy designer. He's like a brand designer. I'm an animation.
Animation.
Close enough.
In that world.
For a toy company.
So when you're an animator and you come to Disneyland,
Yeah.
how does that work in your brain? Like,
Oh my
do you like try to pick up tips on the way that they do their animation and storytelling?
Storytelling.
Like, do you think you see
Oh
a little
my
bit more
God.
than other people do because that's
Yeah.
what your eyes train for?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely having like a creative eye helps.
Creative fans,
Um,
I think, get so much more out of Disneyland.
Like, okay, this is a good example.
Go for it.
She's my best
By
friend.
the way, you're
Yeah.
really good on camera.
Thank you.
I mean, this is my new co-host.
Thank you. My best friend's coming in tonight from New York. And
Awesome.
She is the biggest Disney Parks fan. Like, she's
Oh,
just like
yeah.
us. Like, she's ready, wearing to go.
Hardcore.
She's never seen a Star Wars movie though.
Oh. Wow.
But I was like, that's fine. Like, it'll be like brand new, like you don't really know like what the story is, whatever. But she doesn't have like a super creative eye. She just like loves like, as you say, like crush and ride.
Yeah, crush and ride culture.
Which she loves, and she loves being like immersed. But I don't think she like really realizes like the design type of side. She just like knows she's enjoying it because it's immersive and like she's not really thinking about it.
I'm kind of envious of that it's just fun for the sake of fun.
Totally, yeah.
But for us, I mean, the way this is designed, and there's a couple of subtleties that you couldn't have seen in the videos.
Yeah.
Like a couple of things, the way that it feels. I'm not going to tell you that you'll be like,
yeah,
oh my God, I can't believe they thought of this level of detailing.
That's why, like, spoilers don't bother me really.
Yeah.
Like, maybe endings of movies, sure. But
Sure.
I watched like a full ride through video because I just couldn't help myself.
Who's your favorite channel? No. I'm a baby channel. Who's your real favorite channel?
Justin Scar.
Justin's one of my
and Tim
favorites.
Tracker, which I have met the trifecta now. I have met all the trifecta.
Should I watch Tim Tracker?
Yes.
Would I like it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. He's like the sweetest human being.
All right. I don't know about sweet. I kind of like assholes. You already cursed.
Then maybe not. But yeah, he's got some great like Disney World.
I know he's got a huge
tips.
following.
Yeah, he does.
And I hear people speak positive. I've just never really, because I'm a Disneyland guy.
Yeah, totally.
I love the land. The land is my place. So I'm gonna go talk to your husband in a second.
Yeah.
I want to finish with this.
Yeah, sure.
I was seeing this earlier in the stream, and I think you could back this up for me.
Sure.
Today, well, you haven't wrote it yet, so maybe not. But I'm saying today is like, if you've ever wondered what it felt like when people went and saw the Tiki Room for the first time, and their mind was blown, or the first time that people rode Pirates, like this is so above and beyond anything that we have that today is our generation's version of like, I can't believe this.
Oh, I got chills.
Like that I walk off saying like, I just got my Disneyland once in a generation moment of this is above and beyond anything. All right.
Great. That's a great way to look at that.
Thank you.
Very touching.
Thank you.
Actually.
I'm an emotional man when I get to Disneyland and haven't slept since Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, are you going home to take a nap?
Oh, bro, as soon as this battery on this phone dies, I am Ubering home and be like, hey, Beth.
Yeah.
Putting in my sleep mask and I'm done. All right, where'd that sexy husband go?
He's right there.
There he is. All right. Let's go talk to a noob on Instagram.
What's my Instagram?
Yeah.
You know what? I just changed it. I think it's Chel Blank, ChelBlank. I just changed it a couple months ago. But
She's
yeah,
a
that's
Disneylander. She's here every week.
Literally every week.
Always putting up stuff and her outfits. You. What's up, bud?
Not much.
How you doing, man?
Good, man.
So you're going in today
Nothing.
knowing nothing.
Don't know anything.
Knowing nothing. Well, I'm going to tell you all about the Darth Vader scene. Dude, I am so envious of your virginity.
Yeah, man.
And your innocence.
It's
and
been
your
tough.
purity.
The thing I'm looking forward to is just like getting it done, being able to like read everything.
Yeah, because then you can enjoy the rest of the world.
I can go back and watch the Imagineering documentary
because
that I skipped over.
What you did was so tough because it's fast and loose, the information out there in today's world. Like, the fact that they kept Baby Yoda a secret is shocking, right? Because we know everything about this ride unless you go really far out of your way like you did. So
it's tough.
I want to ask you this real quick and I'll let you go. Because I have a theory that like creative Disney fans get a little bit more out of it because it kind of touches what we do for our life.
Yeah.
You're a toy maker. When you come here for a major toy company, right?
That's correct, yeah.
So when you come here, do you kind of like take an extra beat to look at all the model making and sculpting in the Galaxy's Edge? Like, does that speak to that part of your brain?
Every time I come here, I find something new that I can go back and incorporate into whatever I'm working on.
I bet.
It's like every week, like getting like a creative like refresh to just kind of absorb everything that's going on, like seeing what they're doing, getting those trends going, just gathering reference and all that kind of stuff, looking what's going on with the packaging. Yeah.
I just find if you have a creative job, there is so much inspiration. Like, just look at the top of this building right here. Like, that whole facade. You and I will never get to walk on that bridge or go to that building, but it looks so real.
I mean, honestly, I can see like a drastic shift in like my work before and after moving to California and starting to go to Disneyland.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, it's spun in a whole new direction that I never really thought it would go in because of Disneyland and because of Batuu. So yeah.
Falling in love with this park really changed my whole perspective on fun, creativity.
Definitely. It opens a whole new world.
Innocence. Like how to be an adult and be in touch with your emotions. And you know, it's okay to cry. It's okay to get lost in the moment. Like, you don't always have to be a cool guy.
That's true.
Man, I am so happy to
great
see
to see
you.
you, man.
So jealous of you. Have fun,
I'll let
bud.
you know how it goes.
All right. Hey, what's your Instagram?
I don't have one.
Wow,
Yeah.
you were really just a
That's
purist all
good.
around.
Yep, exactly.
All around.
All right.
Have fun today, bud.
See you later.
Look at that guy. Bye. All right, so she knows everything, he knows nothing. What an amazing couples moment they're getting ready to have. Okay, I'm gonna walk you all the way through the end of Galaxy's Edge, see if we bump into any other friends, and then we will part ways. Isn't that crazy, Victor, that the older you get, the more, like, I think you let go of some of that cynicism and you learn to, like, open up your heart to the experience? Oh, yeah, I believe, like you just said, I think creative fans get, like, a different sort of level out of it because this all touches what we do. Like, this is pretty much the best example of creative freedom, or having the big budget, or having a client that like gets it or sees it. All right, do you guys want me to do a whole lap here or just go out the gate? Like, do we want to go over and see the Millennium Falcon and come back around? Want to go the long way? Of course we want to go the long way. All right. Who wants to leave Galaxy's Edge early? Nobody. I am telling you, I am on no sleep and I am so jacked up from this experience. So, Savi's workshop. These people are going to build scrap metal. Here's the cool, I think this should be the Life Day tree. Oh, sorry for the close face shot. Here's a really quiet spot to take rad pics because people only come out every 20 minutes when they do the lightsabers. So you can hang out there. Spin this around for you folks. There's actually, I haven't seen a line to get in the antique shop since the previews. Let's come over here. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Get a good view at how busy it is. Look at all these people that showed up for opening day. Walk back into one of my other favorite quiet spots. The accessibility ramp hitting behind Docking Bay 7. Oh man, what a day. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, the review, those two little quick interviews. I have a natural curiosity for people. I love talking to people. I love talking to creatives. Those are Disneyland friends. Those are people that I've met through being a Disneyland content creator. They said hi to me once, wanted to meet me, and now they're my Disneyland friends. I got to meet Andy Tiki today, casually. He strolled by. Justin Scard was here, Adam Wu, Cheesy Pop. Just like so many rad people that make the community of Disneyland, the locals that come here, that share it, that document it, that really enjoy it. I'm putting today down as one of my all-time best Disneyland days. And I've also been in the Galaxy's Edge since 8 a.m. I've never stayed in one land for an entire day. And I think that's, look at this up here. Wait till Angel's guy moves. There's a little tiny Princess Leia. Amazing. All right. Once I go through the tunnel, I'm going to kill it. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching the video. Been putting a lot of work into the channel lately, and I hope you've been enjoying it and having as much fun as me. Look at that postcard behind me. Look at that. That's 30 minutes from where I live. Oh, you just saw me. The ride was crazy. Oh man, I wish we could have talked. Always come up and say hi. All right, I'm walking out the tunnel now. I'm gonna sign off. I have a detailed, like, watch along, ride along, like long format vlog of the adventure that was the whole day, not knowing if we were gonna get tickets, not knowing if it was gonna work out, but luckily, it did. I have now officially been in Disneyland for 12 hours and haven't slept since Wednesday. It is time to sign off and go back to the rest of my life. And yes, Hammer Time 100 has nothing to do with this, but what a monumentous day in all directions. If you watch the video, please leave a comment. It really helps this all grow. And tell a friend that there's a new sheriff in Disneyland. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. And I cannot wait for you to rise against the resistance.